Hey everyone, thank you for pushing that play button. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. We would love to have you part of the community, but I got a few updates that I want to throw out there really quickly. If you don't follow my Instagram, it is SeaGonToSpeed252. I posted this photo on Instagram. For all of you who don't know, this is Rick Hendrick. He owns lots of dealerships across the U.S. and he's very popular in the NASCAR world as well. And he saw me at one of his events and walked over to me and said, "Hey, this is your fine machine here." And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, I'm glad to meet you. I saw this car before and I'd love to take a photo with you." And so when he wanted to take a photo with me in front of the C7 Corvette, I was super excited about that because, it's hard to run across nice people. He's a very humble guy for as wealthy he is. And I was happy to actually meet this guy because a lot of people would love to meet Rick Hendrick for sure. So thank you, Rick Hendrick, if you're watching this video, for taking the time to talk with me and taking this photo with me as well. Two quick updates. I will be at the YouTube call out October 20th, which is this Saturday at Maple Grove from 11 to 5. Please come check out some of your best YouTubers. I would love to see you. I would love to see you out there definitely with us and having a great time. And once again, if you need the information for that location, all the information will be down in the description below. I will have a booth and a tent set up there as well for you to come out and say hello, and I will have some merch there as well. Also, on November 11th, I will be at Extreme Car and Truck Showdown. That's one of the biggest car shows in North Carolina. Definitely come check it out. Definitely come check me out. I will have a booth there as well. Once again, that's on November 11th. The show starts at 9 and ends at 4. It's a great show. I have been in one of these before. I had a great time. I'm sure you will as well. There were a bunch of nice cars there. I will have a tent set up and a booth set up, so definitely come check me out. I will definitely have some merch there as well, and I look forward to seeing you. And I mean, this is one of the biggest car shows I've been to. The very first time I ever went to one of these car shows, I took my Grandsport there, and it was blue at the time. And man, it was crazy. So I definitely think you should come out and check that out for sure on November 11th. The information for this car show will be down in the description below as well. And I look forward to seeing you there. For all of you that don't know this guy as well, his name is Adam Polisher. He's a super nice guy, good friend of mine. We met a couple of times, and I met him out there as well, along with Rick Hendrick. And definitely check out his Instagram page as well. Once again, he's a super nice guy. His name is Adam, and I greatly appreciate it. So Adam, if you're watching this, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. Thank you for taking the time to take this photo with me as well. And without further ado, let's hop into this video. Hey everyone, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Please hit that bell button right beside us so you get a notification anytime I release a video. I would love to have you part of the community. We would love to have you part of the family, and we just love our community in general. We treat each other well. We treat each other with respect. And here at SeaGonToSpeed252, we just love to have you part of the community. If any of you would like to contact me, my email is SeaGonToSpeed252@gmail.com. Please feel free to send your pictures of your cars there as well to be featured in future videos. You can also contact me on Instagram at SeaGonToSpeed252, and please check out my website, which is SeaGonToSpeed252.com. So I had one of my followers, actually a few of my followers, email me recently about the C8 miniature Corvette. On top of that, the C7 Corvette. And both of them is in the market for both of those cars, but they asked me, should I wait or should I not wait? And they mentioned to me, how come you didn't decide to buy a C7 Z06 instead of buying a Grandsport? And I want to make this video for them and for other people to give you true reasons why I ended up not buying a Z06 and I went with the Grandsport. So the number one reason why I didn't buy a Z06 is because it has 650 horsepower. Now the car that we're currently looking at is a Z06, and this was one of the Z06s I was looking at. I took a few photos of this car. I took it home, I sat down, I thought about it, and I contemplated, why would I need 650 horsepower? And after test driving the Z06, it was incredible. I mean, I loved it. I immediately fell in love with it. I just really wanted it so badly. But the more I thought about it, this was my true sports car. And I know a lot of people, say like 650 horsepower is a lot of horsepower. An average day driver doesn't need that. And that is very true. And so when I got into 460 horsepower Grandsport, I can actually use this horsepower. I can actually be safe about it without getting 650 and doing something crazy. Now, 460 horsepower is still a lot, but I definitely want to get in something that was more reasonable, that I feel like was safe and more containable for me to drive. And 650 horsepower is a lot to use on a daily driven Z06. And for the most part, you can get into accidents with a Corvette, a Mustang, a Ford GT, a Honda Civic. It doesn't matter what it is, but for me, for my safety, I feel like 460 horsepower was enough. Plus, as you all know, I don't daily drive my Corvette, but I drive a lot. Anytime the sun is out, I'm out. And the last thing I need to do is be tempted with 650 horsepower trying to put that down on an everyday daily drive. The number two reason why I did not buy a Z06, and this is simple, take a look at both of these cars. Tell me what you see differently. The only thing you see differently is the hash marks in the Grandsport and Z06 symbol. So the reason why I did end up buying a Grandsport because they had the same body as a Z06. So I felt like it wasn't any need to spend the extra money for a car that just looks identical. Now I will say with the Stingray, you will get a slimmer body. It will not be as wide as a Grandsport and the Z06, but both cars to me look identical. Like clearly, if you take a look at it, look at the first photo you see at the bottom. You see a Z06 badge on the side fin of the car. You take a look at the top of the photo above the Z06 and you see a similar badge, but you actually see it a little bit lower towards the middle, and it's a Grand Sport symbol, and you also see the Grand Sport hash marks on the side of the car as well. That's the only difference you see between these cars. Most people who don't really know Corvettes that well wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a Grand Sport and a Z06. Obviously, most of us Corvette owners will be able to tell the difference, but at the end of the day, for me, I feel like it was necessary to save some money and go with the Grand Sport because they both look identical. I mean, the Z06 and the Grand Sport are both good looking cars. The Stingray is a great looking car as well. So whichever one you sat, you can't go wrong with either one. But for me, the Grand Sport was just the best bet for me at that time. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Once again, I love how you're part of the community. Thank you. The number three reason why I did not buy a Z06, and this had my concerns because it definitely happened in the 2015 Z06 and the 2016 Z06, and I heard some of these cases in the 2017 Z06, which is the overheating issues. For me, you all know, I still currently have my warranty on my current Grand Sport, and a lot of you say, hey, why don't you just slap a pro charge on that thing? Well, I kind of cling to my warranties because I really don't have the money to afford anything that gets broken within this car, and this car is, technically kind of expensive, and I don't want to go out of my pocket to buy something that's honestly should be fixed on a warranty anyways. So with me, the reason why I did not go with the Z06 is because it had overheating issues. One of my buddies took his Z06 to the track, and he actually ended up overheating. Like he only did like 2 or 3 passes, and his car overheated, and that's not fun. The last thing I need is car troubles because it has overheating issues. And yes, GM said there are some things you can do to fix that. You can actually take the radiator out and put a bigger one in there. They suppose they fix these in the later models, which is 2017 and above. But for me, just for my safety reasons, just for my, to be able to sleep good at night, I wanted to have a Grand Sport and not worry about problems with overheating, other issues I didn't know about, and things like that. Now, if you're not concerned about overheating issues and you want to do other things to the car in general, then by all means, go buy a Z06. But for me, for my safety, I wanted to get a Grand Sport so I didn't have any overheating issues. Because you can take a Grand Sport to the track all day long and track without having those issues occur at all. So Alada gave you two more final reasons why I did not buy the Corvette C7 Z06. And one of those other reasons why there just wasn't any deals going on at the time. I mean, when I was actually looking for this car, I looked at this car in 2014 when it first came out. And when I saw it at the dealership, I was like, man, this car looks freaking sick. And at the time, I was driving a 2005 Pontiac G6, which is also one of my current daily drivers. And, this car was priced at $55,000. There's no way I could afford it. So I told the dealership I'd be back in a couple of years. Give me maybe 2 or 3, and I would like to purchase one of these cars from you. And when I came back, I wanted to purchase one of those cars, but there wasn't any deals going on. I mean, literally, there wasn't any wiggle room on a Z06 whatsoever. I remember going to the dealership, and I was like very interested in this car. I left, and they gave me a phone call back. I was like, yeah, we can give you a discount. We'll take $500 off. And literally, they said $500. That wasn't going to really do anything for that type of car. So that was another reason why I did not buy a Z06, because there wasn't any deals going on at the time. And the last and final reason why I did not buy a Chevrolet C7 Corvette Z06 was because I just honestly couldn't afford it. I mean, that car was literally out of my price range. At the time I was looking at it, I saw Z06s range anywhere between the high end of $93,000 to the high end of $120,000. And by all means, I was like, I cannot afford to kick out this amount of money. One, for a car that I wasn't really prepared to drive. And two, I just didn't have the funds to actually buy this car. Now, there's a lot of Z06s on the road now that, they have great deals on them. You can go to a dealership and buy a brand new for probably like $85,000. I've seen some anywhere between $76,000. Heck, you can probably go out there and buy a good used one, 2015, 16, up until sometimes 18. That can probably be anywhere between like $65,000 to $85,000. And obviously, I thought about every once in a while trading my Corvette Grandsport in for a Z06. But a part of me was like, I'm already used to this car. There's plenty of things I still want to do to this car. And for me to keep my payments where I wanted them to be, stay with my Grand Sport. Because I was able to buy a Z06, my payments would have went up. And that's just something I was interested in. And, right now my Grand Sport is comfortable for me. I still need to learn how to drive it. I plan to go to Ron Fellas pretty soon. And I just want to get used to my current car and the 460 horsepower that I have. So those are the reasons why I did not buy a C7 Corvette Z06. And, for all you that's in the market for a Chevrolet Corvette Z06, make sure you do your research on that car. Make sure you do all the numbers you possibly can, because there's great deals going on everywhere, especially with the C8 coming around the corner. And if the Grand Sport is the car that fits you, get into a Grand Sport and hold on to it till the C8 comes out so you can make a decision on the C8. Once again, thank you for pushing that play button. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. I would love to have you part of the community. Also, please attend some of the events I plan to attend, which is the October 20th YouTube call out and the November 11th Extreme Car Showdown, which is in Raleigh, North Carolina. All the information will be down in the description below. And I would love to see you out there.